Personally, I like to have little to no expectations when I go into games or any types of media, really. So when I went into playing The Expanse, I really knew next to nothing about it. The only things I did know was one, it was set in space, and two, it was made by Telltale, which probably meant it was going to be a choice-based game. When I when I played it, I was surprised at how short the game was because it took me like less than 2 hours to complete. Probably I can't remember exactly. Probably around like an hour and 40 minutes maybe, and it ended on a massive cliffhanger. Then I realised that it was an episodic game. So the full game hasn't been released yet, and that basically the game would be released in smaller chunks over well, a period of time, obviously. So so instead of doing a video on the whole game, I thought, why not make a video on every single episode? Like, because why not? So in this video, I'll end up talking about the gameplay visuals more than I will in the other videos, since there probably won't be a lot of difference between each episode on that end. But yeah, but when we get to talking about the story, I will put a timestamp on the screen just in case you don't want any spoilers. I also streamed this over on Twitch, so if you want to go check me out over there to see me play games that I will be making videos on, and to see me play the rest of this game, yeah, go over there and drop me a follow. I stream pretty much every day, and when playing games like this, I always get chat to choose the decisions I make. I think this makes it a bit more interesting. Yeah, let's get into it. So far, the gameplay has been fairly minimal. It's mostly just moving from area to area and interacting with other characters and the environment. You can also pick up these things called salvage, which, as far as I'm aware, don't do anything yet. It might come into play later in the game, in like the future episodes, but I'm not too sure yet. It probably will be. Also, when you're outside your ship, there's obviously zero gravity, which again obviously means you can get to places where you wouldn't usually be able to get to if there wasn't any. And yeah, I also think they could be able to get a bit more creative with their level design, since they are not restricted to only being able to walk. Well, walk on the ground like you are now, in what you're seeing. Yeah, I don't think there's much else to really talk about when it comes to gameplay, because since it's very minimal, there's not a lot here. Again, it's like you can explore a little bit. You can explore a little bit. I didn't end up doing that too much. Because I thought, honestly, I thought we were going to have a lot longer. Again, I thought it was going to be a lot longer, so I thought it'd be under 2 hours. I was kind of thrown off because, like, oh, I wanted to do some side stuff or whatnot, but that didn't happen. So I'm going to talk about the story now. So yeah, I will put a timestamp if you don't want any spoilers. So yeah, let's go talk about that. As for the story, for the most part, it is just meeting the characters, finding out who they are, and getting to know them, and also setting the premise for the game and what you're doing. Like, what is the whole premise of the game, basically. But it starts out with you and the captain talking about this abandoned ship and how it's this big score, basically. After your captain, after you and your character and the captain talk about this abandoned ship and what to do with what to do with it, you then go and meet the rest of the crew to learn a bit about all of them and tell them what's going to happen, really. When you go to board the abandoned ships, you soon find out why it's abandoned. You find some quite horrific things there. You find out that the ship has been attacked by some sort of pirates. Again, they're not seen throughout the whole thing, and that they have, or they also have killed everyone on board. And again, like they killed them in quite horrific ways because you see it. Like I don't know if I'm going to include the clip here, but where we find a load of heads. It's quite gross. It's quite gruesome. It's quite dark. But yeah, You soon explore the ship, finding salvage, finding out what's happened, and just in general, trying to find valuable things. And and suddenly the captain of the ship tries to get rid of you. I'm guessing purely out of greed, so you can keep all the profit, basically. And it's like, well, I'm like, what the hell? What's like? Obviously, that doesn't work. You survive. Yeah, you survived. You get back on the ship. But yeah, you end up back on the ship. You end up overhearing him talking to the rest of the crew, acting like you're dead and pretending that you meant a lot to him, while not realizing that you're right behind him. Which is like it's quite messed up. It's really messed up that he tries to get rid of you, just uh just for some extra profit, basically, just so he doesn't have to share the profit with you. Because I think you're gonna get like a big cut of it as well. Like you were gonna get like a this big cut of it as well. Yeah, yeah. Obviously, once the crew sees well, obviously once the crew sees you, they quickly find out and realize what actually happens. Like then yeah, they find out they obviously find out what happened and they end up turning on him. So it really did not go his way. So you and a couple of other characters drag him to this thing. I can't remember what it's called, to be honest, but where you can send him into space, basically. This is where you get a big choice. I think this choice is probably one of the biggest choices, and it's whether you can kill him or spare him. And yeah, like you don't. I think this will be a big choice in the whole game. I think this will be the biggest choice in this episode. I chose to spare him since I feel like he could be useful down the line, and and well, that's what chat chose to go with since I streamed this over on Twitch. They chose to do that. They chose to spare him. Well, I think plus I think like it could. Well, like if he tries to do anything again, we could get rid of him if we wanted to. So yeah, that's where the episode ends. Again, it took me less than 2 hours to complete, so I was surprised that it was that short. But to be fair, it doesn't need to be that long. It's fine for a game to just be short and for it to not be bloated with unnecessary content if it doesn't need it. Yeah, but yeah, that's what happened in my playthrough. Basically, I don't. Obviously, there's a lot that I did not mention since if I did this video, it'd be 2 hours long. You also got to remember that this is a multiple choice game, so what happened in my playthrough could be very different to what happened in your playthrough. So I always recommend people play the games for themselves to see what will happen or what they find themselves. And yeah, I think obviously it's a bit difficult to kind of judge what's happened here without knowing how well. how the rest of the game turns out, because this is only just the start of the game. Like we are like in the 5 episodes, as far as I'm aware, there's 5 episodes. We're only on the first one, so we've still got most of the game left. So yeah, but like as far as this goes, I'm excited to see what happens next. Like I'm genuinely quite excited. So yeah, yeah. Let's go talk about like the visuals and the art style and stuff. As far as graphics goes, it's nowhere near the most realistic or maybe even the best looking game out there. Like I think it looks good. It definitely looks really fucking good. But you can tell, but it's not like the best looking game out there. I don't think. I have a couple of people mention it looks a little bit dated, and I'm like, I was thinking, nah, I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't say it's dated, but yeah, I think it's just like that. To be fair, that might be just the fact that I played Gollum recently, and again, we all know how terrible that game is. But you know what? I think that the graphics they just look fine here. They look good. For the game, it does look good. Like all the visuals, I do think uh, look good. 'Cause I don't think it needed to look extremely realistic, or that they were trying to make it look extremely realistic. I don't think, but in all fairness, I'm talking more about like the character models than I am for the environments, because the environments do look really fucking good. The environments look so good in this game, man. Yeah, like so how do I explain it? I've always said that the art style should be the most important thing, and not going for ultra realistic graphics, like really realistic stuff. I don't know why I keep saying ultra realistic. That is always something I've said. But yeah, I think like the art style like looks really good in this game, and I think that's what will make it. I think that's what makes it look good. It's because I think it's got a good art style. There's one thing that I do want to say, I do want to talk about, and that does really bother me about a lot of games. I'm kind of considering making a video about it at some point, and it's something called visual clarity. Like there have been so many games that I played where I have not been able to see very well, or would have no idea what I could interact with and what I could not interact with. There have been so many games that has been like that. That really bugs me. But at least with this game, with the Expanse, I've never really had that. I've never I've never had that. Every single thing that I could interact with, I saw clearly, and I never struggled to figure out where I'm meant to go and what I'm meant to do. I think it's just everything in this game is very clear. You can see clearly. You can see what is what, and, and if any you know, like I play a lot of Dead by Daylight, and with that game, the maps on that game can be very painful sometimes, because there's a few maps where like it is so dark that unless you're on PC, unless you're putting mods on to make the game a bit brighter, it could be very hard to see on some of those maps. It's very hard to kind of see anything there, and that really bugs me. and that really does bug me. I don't mind games being dark because you can see on the screen now it is a bit dark. It is dark, and I'll need a flashlight to kind of see some things. But with some other games, it's just like I can't see anything. I just cannot tell you that. I can't tell you what's what. I can't see what I can interact with. I can't tell what is what. It's hard to explain, but a lot of games have it where you just cannot see what you're supposed to do. You cannot see anything. But that for me personally is probably the most important thing when we're talking about visuals in any game is visual clarity. Is that can I see well enough to know what I can interact with, to know what I can basically do. That is the most important thing to me. Apart from that, everything else I don't really mind. It doesn't really matter for the most part. But I don't know. That's just me. I don't really care about ultra realistic graphics. I say that again. I don't care about extremely realistic graphics. I don't really care about things looking really, really realistic. I can't tell it's a video game. I just like things to look good and be very clear, and for them to have their own art style. To be honest, there's a game I play a lot at the moment called Forager. Again, that's not a realistic game. That's not a realistic game. If you look at it, it's basically not pixel art. It's not a realistic game. If you look at it, you can see oh yeah, it's definitely not a realistic game. But it's a fun game, and again, the whole art style is that's sort of more pixelated more than anything else. But yeah, that's gonna be it. I think overall it's a strong start, a very strong start. It really does capture your interest and makes you want to stick around to find out what happens next, which I will stream over on Twitch, so go check it out. I know that this video has taken me a while to do, since by the time this is up on the channel, the next episode is probably going to be out it's going to be released in the next couple of days. Hopefully I can get the next video out a lot sooner than this one. But yeah, I will leave it there. So if you have made it this far, obviously subscribe, drop a comment, tell me what you think of episode 1. Tell me what you're expecting, and yeah. Obviously, check out my music below. I make music as well. Check out my Twitch and whatnot. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.